Hello and welcome to Enforced to Heaven playthrough of the Grand Campaign scenario. It is the start of the second day of the campaign, and I want to start with some little technicalities which will be important to understand and keep in mind what is happening on the strategic level in this game. So first I think I'm going to shoot those playthrough videos in two parts, every day in two parts. It should be around 1 hour and a half per part. We're gonna go to 1 p.m. activation, so activations, morning activations, and then on the second part, afternoon activations. What I want to talk before we begin our second turn is to talk about victory conditions, campaign victory conditions, and I will in other videos remind that this talk is in this video, and I'll not repeat this talk again, unless of course a situation is going to occur that there might be a sudden death victory for any side. We're gonna analyze this when it happens. So what is this campaign about? Because in smaller scenarios, which are many, in smaller scenarios we mostly have some VP hexes and we score VP victory points, and tactical goals are pretty straightforward. But the campaign scenario is something different, and it is always very important to understand what is the game about, because every side wants to know what he should be doing. So, for example, what the Polish player, if you're the new player to this game and playing the Polish side, you need to know what do you want to do, what are you expected to do to not lose or win the game. And of course, the German player needs to know where does he want to attack, what goals that he needs to pursue to win the game, not just go blindly with units forward. So campaign scenario, and for those who are going to play this game and playing the campaign scenario, it will of course be at the beginning tough nut to crack, and that's the domain of every bigger game. Let's take an example of, for example, pretty simple and straightforward game of Paths of Glory. When you're playing the first time, the victory conditions until you play the campaign at least one time are not really clear. Are we attacking as a Central Powers player? Do I want to attack France? Do I want to attack Russia? Do I want to attack Middle East? And why? What am I doing? I'm just, okay, I'm gonna attack whatever. Until you know in practice what mistakes you have done or what you should have done, you're not going to really understand how to pursue the winning conditions of the campaign, of the game. So, the Grand Campaign scenario does not have solid victory points counting, and does not have a solid victory hexes. It's more like a strategic assumptions for both sides. For the Polish player, in case of storytelling, it means, because the Polish side has no chance to win this campaign strategically, the strategic goal is to prevail and to prolong the campaign, to stop the blitzkrieg, to cut the blitzkrieg and enable German side to win this campaign swiftly. Probably what would happen then if the campaign would prolong to October or even November, we can only theoretically discuss. But in my opinion, this campaign will be lost anyway. So the main goal is just to prolong this campaign and to stop the German, or to delay the German blitzkrieg. For the German player, the main goal is to win, or historically, so come to Polish capitulation at the end of September, or as historically at the beginning of October, or try to force Poland to capitulate even earlier. And there are many ways to do this. Basically, for the German player, there is a bunch of strategies, which I'm not going to discuss now, as this is a great material for a long tutorial video. But I'm gonna show you in short what both players at this point, because the first 24 hours is now done. We see some tactical successes on the German side, we see some stalemates on some other fronts, and if it was a face-to-face two-player game or multiplayer game, both sides would need to now start thinking, what do I want to do to win this game? So, as I said, those victory conditions for the grand campaign scenario are strategic assumptions. Of course, we are going to have a full scenario book, which is not yet prepared, but I have copied raw text of those victory conditions to the notes, which are going to be in the Vassal module as well. So for the Polish player, it's very easy. Try to keep morale high, which I'm going to talk a little more in a second. And the most important victory conditions, which should be on the back of head at all times, is condition B, river line held, which is a historical assumption, well, improvised assumption, but this is a real one. And this basically means that if on September 14th victory check phase, the Polish player controls the river, there's a little more detail to this, but in short, the Polish player needs to maintain this defensive river line, Narew, Wisła and San. If the German advance is still before this line, west of this line, this is a Polish instant victory. Other ones, like river line, evacuation behind the river line, and Romanian bridgehead, are victory conditions for the later part of the game. So the Polish player basically needs to stall German advance and try to extinguish fires where they emerge. For the German player, it is much more interesting because there are really multiple ways to win this campaign. So first one, I'm gonna shortly talk what mechanically the German player can do with this. First one is the capture of Polish General Staff. So the Polish General Staff starts in Warszawa, then it escapes to Brześć, then it escapes to Kovel, and then it escapes off map. So it has to use roads or railroads. So the German goal, and the General Staff escapes when the German units approach the current location. So for the German player to win this victory condition and to catch General Staff is to make a really swift attack to block all of those transport lines in this area or in this area. It is very hard to do, but it is possible if for example, main motorized force goes through this terrain, through Radom, and try to envelop Warszawa and Brześć from the south. But here is really tough terrain, and of course there's a Wisła River, so it is hard to do. And if the German player doesn't attack towards Warszawa, there will definitely be a considerable Polish force to strike from the flank and basically stop the German advance. But it is doable. I've checked that this is well, I've done this possible in one of my games. The best way to approach this is to make a historical move, is to take 19th Corps from the corridor after the Battle of Corridor and take it through the strategic road through Eastern Prussia and then strike from this area through Białystok and try to cut this way of escape from the north. But there's a very important obstacle, which is a Narew River, which is very well defended by the Polish side. The second way, the second condition is to put this into the game. The German player wants to make a really deep motorized strike behind Wisła and Narew rivers. This is the only way to achieve this victory condition. The second one is destruction of Polish forces on the western bank of the river line, at least 3 armies in a pocket. This basically means that armies Poznań, Łódź, Prusy and possibly Pomorze have to be caught in this area. So, however you might think about this or try to plan this, the tactical approach is exactly the same. You need to make deep envelope movements with German motorized corps. The next one is a loss of control over armies by the Polish general staff and complete collapse of the Polish command structure. And this is a moral victory. So the moral victory is created in a way that in this game you cannot plan the moral loss or gain to an extent that, okay, this turn I'm definitely not winning, or I'm winning this turn. No, it can happen. Morale might swing from up to very low, from 10 to 0 in the course of one bad or very good turn. And the shifts of morale can be so extensive, up to 3-4 points, that it's more like a keeping morale high or keeping a morale low. Let's say if the Polish player has 5, 6, 7 morale, there's a great chance and rather calm situation. But it can happen that if the morale is around 0 or -1 to 2, the game might end immediately. And this is a situation in which the Polish player has as much influence on as the German player. And to understand how this works, we need to go to SOP. So there are 2 victory conditions because there are 2 ways to win by morale for the German player. The first, let's call it the easier one, the most obvious one, is the victory check. If in the victory check phase morale is -1 or 0, it is a German victory. And believe me, it can happen in any turn if the Polish player do not keep his morale high. So we need to get a little, of course, if you play the game, you will understand it in practice, but to taking a brief look, it looks like this. We're not going to make an example. I'm just gonna show you what are the parts of the morale that can make this happen. So after the action phase, first there is a Polish counteroffensive announcement. This will gain Polish player 5 morale. So if the morale is very low and there's really not coming any morale, there are not coming any morale gains, the Polish player can once per game announce under counteroffensive, and this will help to not lose in this turn. The second one, and this is a Polish morale gain, which we saw in the last turn, is a legendary battles check. So that's in daily reports. Then we have city clearing. So then morale can drop. So even if it was 10 on legendary battles check, it can drop due to a major city clearing. Then we have another chance to gain this morale. which is right here in the radio broadcast. If the radio Warszawa is operational, the Polish player will gain some morale due to defense of northern sector of the coast defense. And there's the Warszawa reconstruction, which can also gain a little morale if the Warszawa destruction marker goes up. Basically, if there's a -3 morale, if it goes from 9 to 8, it's going to be gain of 3 morale for the Polish player. So if the destruction is on the maximum level, it stays, it will not give morale to the Polish player. This means that although Warszawa is not a solid strategic goal for the German player, it is important because reconstruction is automatic unless there are German units, German ground units on the hexes adjacent to Warszawa. Due to artillery barrages, this can block the Warszawa reconstruction. So Warszawa is not a victory goal, well, not at least not in this case, but keeping Warszawa enveloped can help the German player to keep the Polish morale low. So again, we have morale gain in legendary battles, then morale loss in city clearing, then morale gain in radio broadcast, and possible morale gain in Warszawa reconstruction. There might be, this should be a very specific sequence of events to keep the Polish morale at 0 in the victory check. There's one more thing. There are some events in the calendar that, for example, news from the Western Front that France is attacking and the Saar offensive started. Those are things that make the morale gain or drop. That cannot be planned, and this is why I said that it is not a matter of counting 1, 2, 3 points morale and calculating this. It's a matter of keeping morale high or morale low. And having this in mind, there's a second victory condition for the German player, which is right here. In 3G, so before radio broadcast gain and before Warszawa reconstruction gain. If the morale is 0 in the HQ command phase and on the panic side, if we flip this marker, we're going to have a panic side. It is a German instant victory. And when this happens, it happens when the Polish player declines to use the Plan West cheat, it will drop morale by 3. Either the Polish player might not want to do this, to use the Plan West cheat, or it might not be possible in the given moment. So again, it's also important to keep in mind, for example, what are assumptions of the Plan West. So the Polish player doesn't cut his options for the Plan West. If this happens, that morale drops to 0 due to Plan West decline, the marker will be dropped to panic side. The only way then, still in the action phase, for the Polish player to gain this morale is to try to make some really suicidal counterattacks just to get some legendary battles that might give a morale boost of 1 or 2, or if it's still possible, announce a counteroffensive, because counteroffensive announcement gives 5 morale just before this step. I know it's look convoluted. We might draw a really big flowchart. What are connections of those? But believe me, if you play this campaign once, it's all in your mind, and it all makes sense. And by the way, how does the Polish player influences morale? Most of all by keeping the Plan West played if the cheat is drawn, because as you might remember, if you watched the first day, the first 24 hours of campaign, there was no Plan West cheat. that was a lucky draw for the Polish player, but you can't assume that this will happen every turn or any turn until the end of the game. So keeping this, putting this into practice, the German player wants to bombard Warszawa, try to approach Warszawa to block the reconstruction, so Warszawa becomes in a way a proxy target for the German player. Try to there are also morale losses, and by the way, we have a table for this right there. We're not going to analyze this right now. The morale is also lost when Polish isolated units are destroyed, and the Polish player might gain some small morale boost, like escaping the fleet, or trying to, or for example, as I said, announcing the counteroffensive. So for the German player, for the Polish player, this goal is to keep the Plan West going. For the German player, the goal is to try to envelop, isolate Polish units and destroy them, try to reach Warszawa, possibly try to destroy coastal areas. It's very hard to do, but it is possible. And try to keep the pressure on the Polish player that he has to do counterattacks to gain, for example, legendary battles. And the last one is German firm control over Western Poland. This one is straightforward. We are waiting for the Soviet entry to Poland. It historically happened on September 17th, but in this game it might not happen. German player influences this in many ways, but again, we are not going to analyze this now because we already have 20 minutes of this video and we haven't even started. But in short, at the moment when the Soviets start offensive on Poland, and the German player has under control and cleared all minor and major Polish cities west of the river lines, Wisła, San, Narew, it is a immediate German victory. And the German player has to occupy at least 1 or 2 hexes of Warszawa. Let me check. When the calendar, no, that's the final capitulation. It basically time runs out. Historical result. 2 Warszawa hexes are occupied by German units. So the German player has to occupy 2 hexes of Warszawa and have cleared and controlled all Polish cities. This concerns Poznań and Gdynia as well. The rest of cities are rather taken in a way as a result of the German advance. So with this all gathered up, the Polish player has to first try to keep Plan West going, so slowing down the German advance and keeping contact with the German units. Then try to maintain Wisła and Narew and Bug rivers. There's a little more detail to that, but this we'll leave for later. For the German player, it might crystallize what approach will the German player take, but basically it all goes along to get deep strikes against river lines, isolate and possibly close in a pocket Polish armies, and in a way try to attack Polish cities and clear them out. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to focus on as fast as possible advance towards the river, advance towards Warszawa, because if it happens to be easy task, this will have serious repercussions. There are some other repercussions. For example, if the general staff escapes, the Polish player gets command house. It basically creates conflicting orders between 11 and 15 hours. It is checked randomly which column will this be, but basically this gives a German player a little head start on the turn when the general staff escapes. So Warszawa is a proxy target. It's not the main target, but there are many good things for the German player if it happens to be attacked and maybe controlled in a way. One more thing for the Warszawa attack, when the German units approach Warszawa, there is a little gap of opportunity to get into Warszawa, because not before general staff escapes, Warszawa is a little vulnerable. Only then there's the army Warszawa creation, and there are a bunch of units that are designed to defend Warszawa. We have 2 Warszawa brigades and 2 Warszawa fortresses, 3 Warszawa fortresses, which basically represent defenses of Warszawa ad hoc created. Okay, 26 minutes of video. Let's begin. I still hope we're going to be under 3 hours with this turn. Again, I'm going to remind about this talk in all the future videos of the campaign. Let's go to sequence of play and let's start. First, activation pool preparation. German cheat preservation. The German player can preserve 2 cheats because it is still a German initiative. Now it would be good time to talk about initial strategies, but we are not going to do this. Okay, we have some technical issue. What happened? What has happened with all of those cheats? That's unexpected. Okay, I'm afraid that I have deleted all of those cheats instead of putting them into the cup. All right, I'm gonna fix this by returning all of the cheats back again. I'm not gonna pause the video, so you're gonna see what cheats are in the cup. It's a good opportunity to do this. Let's go to markers, control, activation cheats. So we have, this one is still in reinforcements. We've got 15th, we've got 16th, we've got 19th, Guderian, Heeresgruppe 1, Heeresgruppe 2, Hepner is already there, Luftwaffe 1, Luftwaffe 2, Plan 1 is already there, Plan 2 is already there, Logistics 1, no activations, no, Polish Army, Polish Coordination, Polish Navy, Plan West is already there, Polish Plan, PSP is already there, Polish Response, oh, we're gonna keep place the tactical initiative, and that's it. This is the full cup of the cheats. So the German player can postpone 2 cheats, preserve 2 cheats. I think we're going to preserve one. We're going to preserve one Heeresgruppe, and we're going to preserve. We cannot preserve Plan. This is the only one that we cannot preserve, and we're going to preserve one Luftwaffe. Next, initiative cheat preparation. It is a German initiative, so we are going to start the turn with a chosen cheat, and I think we're going to pick a Plan activation as the first cheat, which means the Plan 2 will go into the cup immediately after the first activation. Let's put this into the pile. and return it into the pool. Done. Next, cheat pool preparation. This means that with the physical copy, all of the rest of the cheats go to the cup. Reveal and resolve calendar cards along with Soviet and Allied cards. So we have a September 2nd, which is just an image of a newspaper. We have no events for the September 2nd. It's the second day of the advance, so it's all chaotic in the country still. And then we go to unit logistics. Late mobilization, not yet. Reinforcements, we have one only, and this is if the Tchev bridge is intact. It is destroyed, so it doesn't matter. Replacements, we get number of points for the Polish player, for both players. That's number of army HQs, except SGO HQs. The same for the German army. Only German HQs, so Bernolak doesn't count. And we add 1 if at least 2 armies are on the map, and +1 until the certain date. So for the Polish player it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 replacement points. And for the German player it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 automatic, 7 because at least 3 armies are on the map. And then we use replacements. Starting with the Polish player, I think. Yes, the Polish player first. So with those 7 points, we have some destroyed units, a lot of them actually. Of course, each unit can receive only 1 replacement per turn. So let's begin with important stuff. Let's rebuild Krakowska cavalry on the disrupted state and place it adjacent to hex. Oh, by the way, it should have created remnants, so that doesn't matter anymore. Let's rebuild 9th Infantry Division. That's a second point. Let's place it in here. That's 2 points. For the third point, we have some step losses in here. We cannot regain this one. That's a 3. Not much was lost actually in this first turn. Okay, so we used 3 points with the and then using 2 replacement points, we can create a new regiment. And I think we will do this in the Łódź army. So this will bring us to 5 replacement points used. We can preserve unused replacement points for another turns, and we're going to put Łódź regiment to this hex. For the German player, 31st Division will be rebuilt on the Remnants hex. So this will go back here with the disrupted marker. So that's 1. That's 1. There's really not much to be done with those replacement points. That was 1. That is 2. Gain step. And let's okay, let's leave it as it is for now. Or if we have some spare points, let's create for the 10th army a regiment as well. Regiments. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 used. 1, 2, 3. This one goes down. Right. OW Polish units cannot be rebuilt. Only divisions and brigades. So with this done, let's go to Polish Command House. Doesn't matter because SG wasn't relocated. Luftwaffe. Let's reorganize our Luftwaffe units. Track sheet B. We can now make one tactical send one tactical air support for each army. Oh, we forgot to return those units to the pool. That's 1 and that's 2. And now let's do the same as in the previous turn. So in Luftwaffe 1 we exchange 1 for 4 small units. Let's send one of those to each of German armies, 3rd and 4th. And from Luftwaffe 4 we are going to this as well. Let's send 1S to the holding box, and let's give 1 tactical for the 14th army and 1 tactical for the 14th army. Right. That's done. Then we don't have to move any units from maintenance to refit. I think I forgot about maintenance in the previous turn. And okay, let's take a step. Let's take a step back because of air raids, and I think there were used at least 4 units. So one of large units should be in the maintenance box and then moved to refit. Okay, this is fixed now. Polish Air Force. As I said, I need to keep this going and keep talking, and so some little details might sometimes go off my head, but I'll try to not make any mistakes. Flip air bases from or to air side, and now it gets really hard for the Polish player because air bases are now really vulnerable if they are on their operational sides. So let's flip almost all of those air bases to their let's call it hidden size. This one, and along with this we can move air bases as well. So this will move here or here. This one will move to Poznań and relocate. At the beginning, almost every army has its own air base, but of course when they get destroyed, almost, because for example Karpaty doesn't have one, when they will get destroyed, there will be a decisions to make which air bases will be operational on which armies. And let's make 2 bases hidden and 1, because we need operational air base to keep Pursuit Brigade operational. Right, Bomber Brigade preparation. We roll 1 die, that's a 3. And if we look at the Bomber Brigade availability, we got 1, add second unit with 1d6 loss. After the roll, decide if you want to use the second unit. We don't now, because situation is not dire yet and we don't want to lose those Bomber Brigades too quickly. So it doesn't matter which one is going to be. Let's make the squadrons 2, 6 and 55 available for this turn. Now let's check weather. The weather is clear because we've got modifier -1 if the previous was overcast, so it's a 4, and 3 to 6 is a clear weather. And with this done, we are going to the action phase, and we are beginning with the German plan initiative activation. So first we need to pick stances for all of the German armies. No, this shouldn't be there. So for the third army, we are definitely going to pick a combat stance. For the fourth army, we can as well go with the combat stance. For the 8th army, it's a combat stance. For the 10th army, it's going to be a movement stance, I think. Yes, there are much more important things to be moved. And of course, mobile units can attack after movement. So, considering that the 10th army has the most of motorized mobile units, it's going to be a good thing to do. And for the 14th army, we're going to pick a combat stance. Let's begin with the movement segment. Only 10th army can move. I thought I have done these returns of the artillery. Why are those units still on the map? And the Pomorze army is off. Okay, so 10th army movements. Leichte. Let's put this back for now. 1, 2. We want to get through Warta River and maybe try to envelop this defensive line and strike towards Łódź. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. In either way, we're going to have sufficient movement points to not get no recon DRM. So this unit will attack. This unit cannot attack. 31st Division will move just 1, 2 to this hex. DFR 1. Let's delete those spearheads for now. Let's first check this breach with this infantry unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's roll for this railway breach. It is a 3. Breach intact. Oh, it's going to be really nasty for this group. And as this breach is intact, we can definitely move the 1st Panzer Division this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with the 6th movement point, let's go with the spearhead. 4th Panzer Division will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be first. Let's decide if you want to make cavalry right with Wołyńska. I think not, because this attack might not be so good. So Wołyńska declines to make a cavalry right, and the 4th Panzer Division could, with the last, it has only one movement point, so it is not sufficient to recon this area in this attack after movement. So we place the no recon marker, but we can, with one movement point, we can send the spearhead to this hex. So let's make a spearhead. 4th Infantry Division 1, and for the city, it is a minor city. For the minor city, it is a +2 movement for an uncontrolled city, so we cannot enter this hex because ZOK oh, there is no Polish ZOK. There is no Polish ZOK, so we moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can enter this hex. 46th Division. How could we catch this unit to be isolated? By going south, I think. 1, 2, and that's it. We cannot enter this hex. Second Leichte will move 1 hex forward and create a spearhead in this hex, and the third Leichte might go south towards Kraków and endanger this group, or strike deep towards Wisła. Hard decision, really tough decision to make. Okay, first let's clear this road. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go towards Wisła. Thinking about campaign victory goals, attacking Kraków with this one unit with HQ's command ranges on the back, it will not be a serious threat to Kraków army, but it is a serious threat to reach Wisła River really fast. So that's the better decision to make. And I think we are done with all of the movements. There is another one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all. And now we are going to the combat segment, and it's going to be a lot. First, we need to plan all of the attacks. This is a mobile unit, doesn't need planned attack marker. This one needs a planned attack marker. We're going to attack here. We're going to make a joint attack against Mława. .217 is going to attack this one. Here is going to be attack. Here is going to be attack. Are we attacking Wejherowo? Yes, we are definitely attacking Wejherowo with both units. Are we attacking Gdynia? Not yet. Brigade is too weak to do this. 20th Division will attack here, doesn't need a marker. 32nd Division will attack mixed hotkeys. Those two guys will attack Nakło. Next, 8th Army We are attacking here. We are not attacking here, but we are attacking here. We are definitely attacking here and here. This regiment SS doesn't need a marker. First Leicht has recon. Those units cannot attack. We are attacking. Yeah, let's attack. We'll see what happens. This unit is clearing, but it can attack. But we are not going to yet. We are attacking here. We are attacking here without any markers. We are attacking here. Now going from south to the north, let's place army artilleries. For the 14th army, I think we will not place this just yet, because it's only one attack, which is not that really crazy important because of those cities, and it might be useful later in this sector. For 10th army cannot place army artillery because it is not a combat stance. Here we will definitely place this artillery into, let's say, this hex. 4th army artillery. Yes, we want to break through in here, so let's place this right here. And for the 3rd army, I think it will be much more beneficial to make a deep strike through the Osa River. So let's use 3rd army artillery right there. Are we ready to attack? I think so. So let's start with the 3rd army. And let's start with the most important part. 21st Division against 16th Division over destroyed river. That's 2-1. We are going to use our tank battalion. Sorry, it's 1-1, and now it's going to be 2-1. We are using bow 2 artillery strikes. Use shot and use shot. So that's 2 column shifts. And I think this will be enough. A Polish player for the Pomorze army cannot use any support. Let's roll. Oh, and DRMs, of course. Weather is clear, so there is no DRM for a morning mist in overcast. We only have one DRM, which is a terrain, which in case of a minor river is -2. 1, 2. And okay, let's use one artillery, divisional artillery, to get +1. Let's roll, and the roll is 1. So first, DR. In case of DR, this unit can decide to hold the line, and this is what we are going to do. Roll 1 die. It's a 6. It's a 6 on the hold table. It's a yes without any loss. So the Polish defense of Osa line is very efficient. And there is a mandatory step loss because of the AL. So the 21st loses a step, which means we place a first daily report for 3rd Army. And as the step was lost, the tank battalion is taken off map, and placed on the calendar 2 days later. It is off map for 1 day, and we roll 1 more die to check if to check if this unit is damaged. Let me quickly check if this is a 126 tank battalion damage, tank battalion movement. I'm checking this because I want to be crystal clear and tonight not make any mistakes. Retreat, where was that? Yeah, there it is. Tank battalion refugee column. You know what? I'm gonna just play this here. Tank battalion. It would be much easier to 9451. It would be much easier, of course, to have the final rulebook already, but it is not yet there. Divisional artillery, step loss in combat. Okay, yeah, there it is. 1d6, 4 or higher, it is damaged. So we need to roll low at this case. 5, it is damaged. So we flip this. With another damage is going to be destroyed permanently. We remove this marker. And now for this attack, 228 against Jabłonowo across the river, it is considered to have a green bridge. So it's 221. We've got minus one for minus one for the bridge, and we've got +1 size DRM. And the result is a 6 DDR. Let's see if this unit can survive this. Yes, it can. It can retreat without defensive terrain. And we move the plant marker. (217) against Nowogródzka in clear terrain. So that's clear 221. We do not use any modifiers or combat support. So that's a 221. And the result is a 1 BL. Defending cavalry can change this result to BL. And this is what we're going to do. So retreat 2 hexes and this will advance. Muawa attack. 2, 4, 7 against 2. That's 3 to 1. And we want to declare any support. It's going to be -3 for the terrain. And -1 probably with the Polish train. We'll need to use at least two artillery assets to get any effect, but we can use tactical air support. I don't think so. Let's try to just damage this unit. Polish player, of course, announces use of armored train for -1 DRM, and the roll is a 1. No, sorry, that's a 3. All the same, it's EX plus AL. And now the damage has to be taken by the strongest unit. So that's a Kempf division, which gives a legendary battle in this hex. Loan and to be checked. Loose step. And we have another step loss to be taken. It doesn't have to be from the same unit, so let's take it from the 61st division. And that's a daily report 1 for modeling and daily report 2 for the Third Army. Right here, 4 to 1 without any modifiers. Let's attack 4-1 coordinated DDR 1 and 2. Okay, as it will not intervene with anything, let's now advance all of the units. So 228 will advance to this hex, 217 will advance to this hex. We will advance only one unit because in case of multi-unit attack we can do this to preserve the FR of this unit. Oh, and we are supposed to attack here also as well. And let's attack Machiniec. It's going to be +1 for the size DRM, -1 for suppressing unit. And the roll is a 4 EX. So this unit is destroyed, which gives a daily one daily report. And the cavalry takes a step loss, which is also a daily report for the Third Army. No advance after combat. Let's move to Fourth Army. Joint attack with 3 to 1, -2 for the terrain, +1 for the size DRM, as this is a main unit. We do not use any support, and the roll is a 2, which is EX. This one goes to destroyed. No daily report for independent units. And 207 will take a step loss. No advance after combat, so this is deleted. And we get a daily report for the Fourth Army. Then we're going to make mobile attack against Chojnice unit, which is 2 to 1, +1 for the size, -1 for the terrain, no support used. Result is a 5. EX and E. We get another roll, which is a 5, which means this is a no effect. Here, we cannot use this isolated unit to jointly attack, so that's 1 to 1. We're going to use two shots of this artillery, and I think we're going to use tactical air support in this attack, which gives +2 and possibly a retreat loss. Let's roll, and it's a 3. Again, EX and E2. It is EX. So both units take a step loss, no retreat after combat. And this tactical air support is used. Let's flip and return it. And we add our daily reports. That's a that's fine, that's the first one. Now here, Nakwatch. 4 to 1, -1 for town, +1 for size DRM, and no support. We roll 4-5. 4 is a DDR. 4 is a DDR. And for this unit, this will create a step loss. This will not. So 1, 2, and we're safe in a city. we are going to advance 15th, and that's all for the 4th Army. Let's advance. 8th Army sector. Let's start with this attack. 221, there is a down, so that's 221 minus 1. 6-4. 4 is the R, so yeah, let's give up ghosting. Better, let's go this way. And 13th will advance. 221 minus 1 for the town, plus 1 for size DRM, which is a 6 DDR, and this unit can retreat safely. This will advance. And here 2 attacks, 221 and 221. This will be both attacks on minus 1 DRM. And for this first attack, let's use 1 shot. We will get the RDR. And let's use one army artillery. Which army actually has divisional artillery? 1 point to be used, but we will not use it just yet. 3-5. The result is a 3, which is a DR. Do you want to stay? It's very risky. No, it's not the time yet to hold the line at all cost. So this is here, and here we've got let's not use any support. We've got a 3, which is also a DR, and as well this regiment will safely retreat. Sorry, it was a joint attack. It was supposed to be a joint attack. So, oh yeah, by accident I was in 3-1. Right, so that's fine. This unit will advance, and this unit will also advance. So yeah, we can already do this. Okay, this will not influence any other combats, so let's as well advance those units as well. Delete, copy, and DFR. Delete, and DFR. Now this unit, as I remember, it was supposed to attack. Sieradz is a nice target to try to cut this escape road. On the other hand, yes, yeah, let's what is this unit? This is a division, and this is a division. Right, so let's attack north. So that's 4, that's 221. That's 221. We got -1 for the terrain, but +1 for the detached regiment. Let's not use any support. 4-5 DDR. So this unit is able to safely retreat to this hex. Do we want to attack without recon? It's going to be 5-1, -1 for the terrain, and -2 for no recon. Really high, and -1 for the train. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another -1 for lack of supply from the corps. No, we are not. making this attack. Sorry, this spearhead should have been left there. Delete. No attacks in here. Now let's see here. That's 1 to 1. We have a minus. Oh, we should have checked this bridge. It's a 5. It is destroyed. It doesn't really influence much this combat, as maximum of terrain DRM is -3, but it might influence later movement or supply roads. So that's 1 to 1 minus 1, 2, 3 for the terrain. It's kind of a suicidal. 1, 2, 3. We've got +1 for the detached marker. But we cannot call off any planned attacks. So let's roll. And that's a 2. And that's 2 step losses for the German unit. Use a step and mark disrupted. Okay. Yeah, that was actually expected to happen in this case. We place a daily report on 14th Army. Actually, it's already a 2. Here we are not attacking. Let's attack in here. That's a 2 to 1 -3 for the terrain. 2 to 1 -1, 2, 3. Also not very good attack, but we might get EX. Let's not use any support. Snake eyes. Right, so 7. So that's interesting now. First, we check BL results. So attacker loses a step. That's for sure. That's another daily report. With this unit, we can try to avoid stop loss and try to withdraw. And this is what we're going to do. So let's roll a die. That's a 2. And on withdraw, we've got 2. We've got terrain, defensive terrain value plus X. So that's +1, 2, 3. And we have a move stance because Kraków army is in move stance. Yes? No, it is in combat stance. So it is not applicable. Anyway, that's a retreat, withdraw without a step loss. It's a 1 hex withdraw. And now we don't have to care about this advance because we have to now resolve another combat result, which is +AL, but as we rolled a double, and I'll show you right there, double roll, attacker stall, AL is changed to DFRX, which means this unit does not advance and will not be able to move this turn anymore. So that was a very good defense of this line, but I think it's not going to be that well in this sector. 2nd Panzer Division against Obrona Narodowa Brigade. 4 to 1, -1 for the terrain, minus suppressing unit, another -1. And here we will try to use the full power of support. Let's see first if we are for sure in command range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now this HQ gives 1, 2, 3, 4. We have access to support. Let's use 2 artillery, 2 divisional artillery, because why not? So that's for +1, 2. And let's use tactical air support as well, which is going to be another +2. So there's a really high risk of this unit being heavily damaged or even destroyed on D2R, because it's a two-step unit. And the Polish player, what change will it make? It might make a difference. Let's use the only divisional artillery, which will bring us back to this line. Okay, let's roll. And it's a 4-3, and the 4 is priority D1R. So this unit is as good as dead, because first we have step loss from D1R, and then we're going to have a retreat loss. I think I posted this. Yes, it is right here. So we've got D1R. There is no terrain loss. There is ZOC loss, but doesn't apply now. We are not going to stop in town after one hex. And we have this one. We have this one because if we escape, oh wait, this unit can survive actually, because if this unit would escape through any road or clear terrain, the Stukas would have a likely chance to destroy this unit, to inflict another step loss, because it is a right here. It is a 4+ on unmodified die, and our result is a 4. So that's a step loss from Stuka attacks. But we can avoid clear terrain retreating through these hills and to this town. As this is D1R, we don't get another. And actually, this is a proper direction because there is a HQ. So after this long analysis, we established that we can save this unit. Let's return this one to the pool, flip and back to the pool, and to DFR, and we will of course advance. We cannot attack solely with Leichte unit through this river, and we have one last attack to perform. That's 1-1 in a clear terrain. No support. 6-6, perfect. And 6-6 in this case is going to be EDR, which is a step loss, because this unit has to retreat through a defensive terrain, but it can stop after one hex in a town. Let's again see this funny retreat table. Where was that? It was PA4, yes. DDR, we're going to take a terrain loss, ZOC loss only in non-defensive hex or not containing friendly combat unit. It should be and not containing friendly unit. Town, one loss, but one hex retreat to friendly town or city. But those two DRMs, those two losses are not cumulative with terrain and town. There was no task, the affair is not involved. So we can stop in this hex, take a step loss. In case of two-step units, a step loss is always a disruption. And this unit advance? I think all advances are already done. No, we will not. We will not. We will try to not advance. Result was a 6. We need to roll 6 or less, so that's an automatic stop. But in this case, the FR is still inflicted. Right. So we have the first activation of the day now done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 7 a.m. activation is always random, so we need to take a cheat from the pool. It's a navy activation. Do we want to stay and try to finish this Rurka plan? Yeah, let's stay there. Probably those units are going to be absolutely demolished by Luftwaffe, but anyway. PSP, still no time movement. We can make artillery setup or we can make a air activation. Let's go with the artillery setup. So all Polish armies can now set up the artillery. It's kind of defensive directions from the general staff, and we can place Pomorze Army has no, Poznań Army doesn't really matter, Army Modlin definitely yes, we're going to place this in this, no, I do back, 1, 2, 3, 4, Army Łódź as well, we are going to place this, and it's a little risky to place it anywhere. Let's place it closer to HQ, as it could be overrun by those fast units. Armia Prusy doesn't really matter, or it does matter, because if Piotrków is attacked in very bad scenario, and we have a real threat in this sector, so let's ensure with artillery that no more breakthroughs will happen. Another cheat for the same hour, and it is Polish Plan West. Now, we could not use Plan West, we could use a general staff, 1 or 2 armies activation in case of used Army Kraków, with -3 morale penalty. Let's first check if we are even able to take Plan West activation. Let's refer to Plan West card. So we do not apply this to Poznań and Prusy armies. Perform movements that, and this is a plan activation, so we need to pick stances. Perform movements to ensure at least 6 steps of combat units in every Polish army are adjacent to German units. Perform attacks equal to half the number of Polish armies on the map, rounded down. The number of attacks will vary based on scenario, so it will scale down basically towards scenario. So we do not count Poznań and Prusy for this, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do not count Narew as well. Round down, we are obligated to make 2 attacks. Then let's check. Oh, give me a sec, because there's a going on. Okay, this is done. Let's check if we have or can have 6 steps of units adjacent. Modlin Army, that's 2 steps. 3. We would need to move Mazowiecka and Nowogródzka closer to the front, so that's doable. Pomorze, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Pomorze without a problem. Poznań doesn't apply. Łódź, this could be problematic. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it's not. Those are divisions, so it's not problematic at all in case of this. Kraków Army, 1, 2, 3, 4, no problem. We are, and Karpaty, not a problem. Karpaty is not a problem, so we have without any problem option to use plan west side, and this is what we're going to do. If we have a good opportunity to stick to plan west, it's very good to just do it. So we pick plan west. It is a plan activation, which means we take stances, and we need definitely a movement stance for Modlin. Army Pomorze. We want to, yes, we want to start escaping from the corridor, so that stays in move. Poznań army will stay at move. Actually, for the Poznań army, we are going to use another optional rule, which is a concealed army movement. It's right here. Okay. The HQ to be concealed in the army range. In the HQ command phase. Okay, it's in the HQ phase, so it doesn't matter for now. Anyway, it's going to be Army Poznań in movement stance. Army Łódź. Yes, we want to make some movements as well. Army Prusy definitely movement, and Army Kraków definitely movement, because we need to somehow stop this tactical breakthrough. And there's also SGO Narew, which will also stay in move. So all Polish armies are in movement stance. Let's begin from the Suwalszczyzna region. Suwalska is out of command, so it's gonna be 1, 2, and it cannot move any further. Podlaska will stay in these woods. Those divisions will stay as they are for now. Oh, we should have used a replacement point for this one, because why not? I'm gonna fix this now. So that's another replacement point used. 1, 2, and 3, and that's a DFR X for this unit. In movement stance of a plan activation, we can move HQ, which are we going to do? 2. By the way, I've made a small mistake. This is not a train station, so this unit shouldn't have started to load on train. Instead, I would have moved this unit to this hex, and now in this exact activation, I would start loading, because it is now adjacent to a town or train station. Do you want to send any reinforcements? Which is only this unit has to stay in modeling to be safe. Mazowiecka will move up. 8th Division will stay in operational reserve and not burn any DFRs. Nowogródzka will move up. Here we are okay. 9th Division, I think we will try to reinforce this part of the corridor. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Pomorska, is it in command range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pomorska is in range. Chojnice and Starogard are not. 1, 2, 3, 4. 27th, we're going to, we need 1, 2, 3 for leaving, 4 for entering. Yes, we can move, so we are going to move in here. This regiment will move to this hex. This regiment stays in place, and with those divisions we're going to stay as it is. This unit is in good blocking position, and this one as well. Wisła unit might be able to move 1, 2, and wait for what happens. No, let's go to Świecie. It will secure Świecie, at least for now. Poznań army. We're going to want to gather at least 4 units in 4 hexes radius of the Poznań army, which means we are going to move units towards this 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is at X. Let's not 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to get this back. I think it was place all units within 2 hexes radius, at least 4 units, 2 hexes radius from the HQ. Oh, that's not really good. So let's move further south. That was a 1, 2. Okay, that's okay. Podolska. Let's move Podolska. Let's consolidate. Let's consolidate this regiment. This will create delete. This will gain a step for 25th division, and we change detach 2 for detach 1 marker, and we copy this DFR, which means this 25th division is now blocked in its hex. Podolska will run this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wielkopolska will... we should have checked those 3 bridges. So from the top, first one is okay, second one is destroyed, and the third one is destroyed. This one is okay, this one is destroyed, and this one is destroyed. This regiment will start moving out. Oh, let's see if those units are in command range at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, so we've got this movement halved for this and for this one as well. So we can only move back 1 hex. Wielkopolska will move to Jarocin. Now for the Łódź sector. Oh, and armored trains. Sosnkowski stays in place. Here is everything fine. On the coast region, we're going to move. No, we're gonna keep it as it is without any changes. Now going back to Łódź sector. Yeah, we need to start saving. Try to save those units as much as we can. Let's move back with this 10th division. It's going to be X. We need to keep some divisions adjacent. It's not a problem, because if we move this unit in here is going to be adjacent to this unit. Śmiały train is blocked right now. Let's move back with this regiment, and this regiment will move to this woods. It has sufficient MPs, so that's one. And we need to start manning this defensive line. Let's make a detachment in here. Copy regiments. This hex. That's done. Wołyńska will stay for now in place, and this train is fine. Gdańska, let's man for now this defensive line. 19th, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will finish loading. We shouldn't have really loaded this unit because it would be faster for it to move by foot, but we could not have expected that it will fail to load before night. I don't need to tell you how complicated is the process of loading the whole division, so it makes perfect sense. Here we have one lost regiment. Let's see, are we going to still fulfill our Plan West assumptions? Oh, we have one small problem. We need to make 2 attacks. With movement stance, we are able to do this only with a use of mobile units. Yeah, we're gonna make attacks with those cavalry. Podlaska will be able to attack this unit, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's move this regiment with 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's going probably to die anyway. This division will try to fight its way towards Kraków main body. 23rd is on a good blocking position, and Group Śląsk will move 1, 2, 3. And for foot units, minor river is +1. Yes, so this would be a 4, but it is a heavy, slow unit, so it is not able to make this move. So let's move it to this hex. Okay, 3 steps in here, 3 steps in here. Yes, we can start moving back with all other units. That's 1, that's 2. Let's stay at 2 for now. And this 55th will move 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's X. Krakowska 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there will be no good for this unit in here, so it will not start unloading. We definitely need to use this 10th brigade to stop this 2nd Panzer Division. So let's move 1, 2 for leaving Izok, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. Corpus will move to this hex with DFR of X. This brigade will stay in place for now. And let's try to move some trains. As there is no yet attack on railway infrastructure, those trains can move 8 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 8. We might send this train to help in here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I'm not completely sure yet if I'm doing the right thing with those trains, but anyway, I will try to. I'm trying just to not drag the gameplay without need. Right, so it should be we should be finished with the movements. Oh, this would be an idea to attack with this Pomorska brigade. But anyway, we need to do 2 attacks. So first one we will do with Podlaska. It's 1 to 1, no modifiers. And 1 to 1 is going to be a 4, which is EX. So 1 for Podlaska and 1 step loss for this brigade. It's gonna bring this to 5, and for Narev is going to be first report. And actually, with this attack, it is 1 to 2 column. No, we're not going to use any support, and the German player will also not use any support. And the result is a 1. Oh, that's really terrible. And it's not a double. So that's 2 step losses for this Mazowiecka brigade. That was really that was really bad. It might create very different situation if this flank breaks. Right, with this done, we have done our 7 AM activation. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And now the German player can start using his preserved activations, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use Luftwaffe activation. I'm going to count all targets to not get lost. So morale is average for now, but it might be a good idea to try to break it. There is no really a place where there is needed a sufficient breakthrough through a Polish lines, maybe except Mława and maybe except some fights on Pomorze. So we will focus with those raids on morale, on Polish morale. So let's strike Warszawa with 3 horizontal air raids. That's 1 target. Let's try to destroy this fleet with one big attack. And then with the rest of the units we might try to break this unit, so that's a 3rd target. Definitely that's a 4th target. With this Sztuka unit we will try to bombard HQ, and the last one we will send for rail infrastructure to cover the first one. As weather is clear, we don't have to roll for this one. And for the rest, for most of targets we will use only a priority die, but still we will roll 2 dice. You know what? Instead of Mazowiecka, there will probably be breakthrough if we activate this army. Let's instead attack this airbase, because this will create the problems for air defense if there's a second Luftwaffe right of the bay. Okay, if we are already here, let's start with Warszawa. So there is air cover, so it's going to be 4+ for horizontal units. First, snake eyes, no. Second, that's a 6, that's a hit, and this is also hit on Warszawa radio, because it's 10. No damage. And we drop Warszawa by 1. Well, increase destruction level, which drops morale for now. And the second right is a miss, which gives a legendary battle for the defense of Warszawa. So that's another to be checked. Let's return those units to their respective holding boxes. 1, 2, and 3. Next, let's attack this airbase, and this airbase will be a 4+. Nothing. That's a miss. That's bummer. Next, let's bombard this unit, and it's going to be hit. No, with a small rate, it's only 5+. So that was a miss. For the target at sea, fleet at sea, it's a 3+, and it's a miss. Oh, that's terrible rolling. And this HQ, which will be a hit with 5, so we add 1 logistical damage for Łódź army. And we return this to the pool. Is it everything? I think so. Yes. We advance time to 11 o'clock. And the next activation, the German player has option to use his Heeresgruppe cheat on either side. But since we have still a plan creating conflicting orders, we will go with the random cheat, which is HG anyway. I think it might be very beneficial right now to try to make some movements in the corridor, because if we get logistics cheat, this unit will still be isolated, and it might take a step loss if it's adjacent to enemy units. So let's use this cheat to activate 4th Army. And we have conflicting orders of -1, so let's see if this HQ is still in touch with Army HQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is not. So it does not prolong, it does not extend command range, thus those units are out of command. They have movement halved, but it doesn't stop them from not moving. It doesn't stop their movement. So Wejherowo with 2 movement points is taken. We don't have sufficient movement points to move in here, but we will move to Wejherowo. 1, 2. Eberhard will not do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This regiment will move 1, 2, and that's it. 20th Division will try to attack again Chojnice. 2nd Motorized Division will move to Tuchola. That's 1, 2, 3. We don't check this breach as it is not manned by any Polish unit. 4 and 5. And we have established connection, and just in case it has no recon, because it has no sufficient points to, we're going to attack with this unit. And we are going to approach Bydgoszcz. Oh, we should have checked this bridge before. That's a 2, so that's a intact bridge. Ooh, and that's interesting. That's very interesting. Let's go south with this unit. That's 1, that's 2, and 3. It has the FR of 3, so it is now X. This should have been controlled. 3rd Division will approach Bydgoszcz. Netze Brigade, that's 1, 2. We check the bridge, it's intact as well. And let's move south as well. Right, attacks. Let's begin with this 20th Division. It's a 2-2-1, -1 for terrain, -1 for conflicting orders, +1 for size DRM. We won't use any support. Do we still have our tactical unit? No. I wonder if I have not made, if I did a mistake and used a wrong tactical air support. Anyway, I'm gonna check it later. I'm gonna use one divisional artillery, which will give me +1 modifier, improve the overall result, no support for the Polish player, and it is a 3 DR. Yes, we are slowly retreating. We can stop after 1 hex, but we'll move 2. And this will go here. We check the bridge, which is intact. Oh, come on. We are going to make a joint attack. In case of effects like negative effects only for one unit, for example, no recon for this unit, it doesn't matter if we have another unit without such a adverse condition. In this case, we are going to make a joint attack. This no recon does not apply because there is a unit which has recon. So that's a 3-1, and we've got -1 for terrain, -1 for conflicting orders, and we are definitely using shot from this one and using maximum, so 2 divisional artillery, and we're trying to break this unit. Let's roll, and it's a 6D1R. So we add a disruption as a last step loss. We add a report. and this unit has to retreat 2 hexes and will suffer a step loss if retreated in clear hex through ZOC, unless it is the other unit, so it wouldn't take a step loss in case of this hex. But anyway, we need to retreat towards HQ, so that's 2 hexes this way, and it's X. This unit will. This is the last combat of this activation, so we can advance this unit immediately, and we will advance, and we will stay with the second division in place, just to keep the back safe. And 1 p.m. is going to be the last activation of this video. We've got almost 2 hours now. Yeah, so as I predicted, if I didn't talk about victory conditions, it would be hour and a half, and the second hour and a half for the second part, it's around 3 hours per one turn. And as you can probably see, I am not making a speed run of this game. I'm trying to think a little about movements and analyze the situation. And believe me, with multiple players who knows the rules, that's a lot faster, because many things can be done in the same time. So the German player will use his second Heeresgruppe. Oh, this of course should have been moved 3 up. And we are going to activate 2 armies of Heeresgruppe Süd. And do we want to... Oh yes, definitely 14th army. And definitely 10th army. We're going to deepen breakthrough in this sector, which might turn into the operational breakthrough. Let's begin with 14th army. Okay, let's attack. This unit will attack. Now we can try to repair this breach, because there is no Polish unit in this hex. So let's do this. Nope, one roll. Yes, it is. It is repaired. And we're going to... How does it look? Yes, we can cut very nice in this direction. So, oh, technically I should move this unit first. Oh yeah, so yeah, because I repaired this bridge already and I made the die roll, I'm gonna move first with the 4th Light Division. So that's 1 and 2 because of this unit, and there is important thing for the terrain. We've got additional +1 for the bridge, which is right here. +1 for all units that in the same activation as repair. As this bridge was just repaired, is gonna cause +1. So we've got 1 for the road, +1 for just repaired bridge, +1 for entering IZOK. It is not a weak IZOK, but we are entering a defensive terrain. This modifier, this modifier that disregard +1 cost for leaving IZOK when moving into the hex, this actually applies if you are using this cost. It doesn't apply if you use the road cost. So again, that's 1 for the road, +1 for just repaired bridge, +1 for entering new IZOK, +1 for leaving IZOK. That's for a 6 movement points. So we are not able to actually move anymore, but we can place a spearhead in this hex with two movement points. With two movement points, we can place even on the other side of Unbridged River. Now, second, and we check this bridge. That's a 5. It is destroyed. We will have no recon, but I have no intent to attack with this unit, so I will skip this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we cannot do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're going to attack. This unit will move 1, 2, 3, and this one will go 1, 2. We had a plan activation, right? I forgot to move Slovak unit. I'm gonna fix this now. That would be 1, 2, 3, and that's done. Okay, this is from the first plan activation. Sorry about that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and it would be 6. And we don't pay, and we will pay +1. So that's it for this unit. Here is a DFR X. 2, 1, 2, 3. We check this bridge. It is intact. And we're going to move the other way with this regiment. I think we are going to attack Bielsko. Maybe. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Zok. We cannot move anymore. So yeah, we're gonna try to attack Bielsko, because why not? This unit will stay to clear Cieszyn. This will stay to clear Katowice and not attack. This unit is not in a position to attack really. And we cannot move to this hex because it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we can move with this unit. 1, 2. Let's check this railway bridge, which is intact. And now for the 10th Army. This unit is now, I think, out of command. Definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, this unit is out of command, but it will still move. Know what? No. Let's go back with this unit. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Movement is halved. Should we attack? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not going to be beneficial. Let's stay with this unit to block this unit. We will destroy it as we will try to destroy it as it might be isolated. Oh, we forgot to check this bridge. This happens all the time in this game, at least for me, fortunately. And it is destroyed. So now when the activation starts of a division, we can check if this unit is repaired. And it is not, as I remember correctly. Grey bridge rebuilt 4+. So no, this bridge still stays destroyed, but we can still move to this hex. It's gonna be 2 for the railway, +1 for the river, +1 for Zok. We can still move. And this unit will move to Częstochowa to start clearing this city. This unit will move 1, 1, 2. Enough. we want to strike this Wołyńska. Oh, let's try to envelop it. I'm gonna try to move to this hex, and now Wołyńska will try to do a cavalry raid with a 5, which is definitely going to be a legendary battle, and minus and 1 step loss. We do not mark this in daily report, and we mark this unit is stopped. It cannot do. As it was trying to move, the spearhead is also removed, and we are going to place the second legendary battle of this turn. This unit, we are going to use this bridge to try to move this way. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So X. There's no cavalry, no. Haha, definitely making enveloping here. This unit will attack. 19th will one, two. No, just not to this hex. And first Leichte is the last one. Let's try to cut this army in half with this unit. So let's we might make a regiment detachment from this division, but not yet. Let's first check those bridges. 1, 2, 3. Checking this bridge, and it is destroyed. We have no sufficient movement points to move to this hex, and we will get no recon. Let's mark this unit with no recon, just to remember this. And this would be all. How about artillery? Yes, it is not placed for any of those armies, so we are definitely going to place this. And I think we might, yes, we might help this unit attack Sieradz and try to take this bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those units will not move, so it's not very risky to place this in here. And with the 4th army, we are definitely placing this in here and trying to make breakthrough in this sector. Let's begin. First, attack against this unit. That's 1 to 1. Got -2 for the terrain. We've got +1 for disruption. And let's roll. And the result is a both loss. So first, this unit loses a step, which is another report for this army. And for this unit, if we take a step loss, this unit is dead. Thus, we are trying to make a withdrawal. That's a 3. Stance is a move for Armia Karpaty. Thus, we get +2, +2 for terrain. So that's a 5, and +1 for movement stance. We are able to withdraw. We will withdraw in this direction. And as this unit withdrawn, we will advance. Here we have only one attack, and that's 2-1 against Polish 10th Armored Cavalry Brigade. And we're going to use 2 shots of big artillery, and we have this does not block this unit from suppression. It has DFR X, nevertheless it creates a -1 for unit suppression. Oh, there's a Polish big artillery. Oh, that's gonna be epic tank. First epic tank battle of this campaign. Right, so let's go with everything we've got. So it's one more divisional artillery. That's +1. And the Polish player will use the both shots of this big artillery. That's 1, that's 2. Much better. And that's it. Let's roll, and it's a 3. Defender retreat, DR1. And no problem to do this. 1 and 2. Let me check retreat guidelines just to be sure, to not make any mistakes. Direction priority: first, inflict the least step losses, minimize number of EZOCs towards the parent HQ. That's it. So not this way, but towards HQ. 1 and 2. We cannot cross this river in retreat just like that, so it has to be around, and this unit will advance. And we will advance this unit as well already. Hit and mark control and check this bridge. It is intact. Now we're gonna try this mobile attack. It is 5-2, so it is a minor city, so it is not CCRT, it's still a CRT. We've got 2-1. For this, we've got -2 DRM, but armored unit attack strength is reduced to 2, so it is actually a 1.5 to 1, right? 3-2, yes. -2, it's 1, it's a 2. We don't have really much anything more to use. And we have -1 for suppression from this unit. Let's try this anyway. 1-4. Result is a 4, so 5th Panzer unit loses a step. We mark this immediately in daily report. We've got a legendary battle because it is a German Panzer loss in the German attack. So defense of Bielsko. But we have a step loss or retreat from this town for a Polish unit. And we're gonna take BL as a step loss, which was kind of the point of this attack. First report of the day. And that's it for 14th Army, I think. Did we want to attack here? No, we are not attacking because we will have to remove a spearhead, which might open a way for this unit. This unit will not attack. Fort, and this unit was blocked by a cavalry right, so we have last two attacks in this sector. So first, this this one unit will attack, so that's 2 to 1 to 1. And we have +1 for detachment marker, -1 for the terrain, and we will use one shot of the artillery. Why do we want to do this? Because we actually not. There's AL only on the first, and the rest is 1 to 1, and 1 5 to 1 is almost the same in case of let's call it risky combat results. So let's just attack, but there is it does not need a connection, railway connection. It's artillery on this armored train, and the Polish player will use it. But we will leave it as it is. It's not that important attack. And we've got right. We've got AL plus AL. But since this is a double roll, we don't get any step losses, but we get a DFR-X attack stalled. And here it's going to be 2 to 1, -1 for terrain, but +1 for detachment marker, -2 for no recon, and we are going to use here definitely our 2 shots of army artillery, and we're going to use anything we've got. No, not everything. 1 shot of divisional artillery and tactical air support for the DRM of 3. I think I've messed something up. Let's do it again. 2 to 1, 2 column shifts, -1 for terrain, -2 for recon, +1 for detachment marker, +1 for artillery, +2 for TAS. Let's roll. And it's a 1. It's a DR. So it doesn't matter because, well, it does matter, but this unit will not move as it is already fatigued with DFR-X, no DFR left. This means, and it doesn't really want to retreat because it might take a step loss from this Sztuka unit. So what happens now in this situation, we check how many hexes this unit would have to obligatory retreat. And the answer is only 1, because it's a DR result, so a unit can stop in a defensive hex, and ZOG doesn't matter if it's not a clear terrain. So only 1 movement point would have been used for this. We could, of course, use a hold the line table, but now this unit is really robust in its position. And with this only 1 hex, it is inflicted a shock marker. The next time, it would get a step losses. And this concludes the activation of Heeresgruppe Süd. And with end of this activation, we are going to conclude this video and get back to this turn in the next video. That was a long one. but I think I talked about some important stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll see each other in the next part of this September 2nd term.